Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? It is Friday morning. Today is a good day. I don't know, it's pretty outside. It's Friday. Another week passed. Another work week passed, it seems. I'm really starting to think that my day off is almost required, not just needed. I feel a lot better this week after having a couple of weeks in a row, Wednesdays off. By the way, good morning, Mr. Ed Durbin, Mr. Pete, Mr. TC, Mr. Michael, and Mr. Tommy. Good morning, guys. These are the knives of our lives. Yes. Yes, they are. Any day, yep, like TC said, any day we're on the right, this side of the ground, we're on the good one. All right. So last night, coffee is essential. I walked in the house this morning with a Mountain Dew in my hand, and I was like, I can do the video with Mountain Dew. And I was like, no, I can't. I've got to have my coffee to finish the broadcast. Something about talking this much that it really helps to have a hot beverage. Soothe those vocal cords. Anyway, last night, pretty sure not very exciting what I carried. Evo and the Yan. I won't go over those much, except that the Evo goes through. I had to cut 48 of something back to back last night, and the Evo just went through like butter. And the Yan or Yan, I gotta say Yan Knives, because that's how Southerners would say it. Yan. Good morning, drummer. Wow, blast from the past. Well, that's pretty wild to see you here. This knife has got a design aspect that I will probably incorporate into my design if I ever get around to making one. It's actually got a couple. But the main one is this cutout right here on the back, where a lot of people would put a flipper tab, but that's not why they did it. They chose to do it because your thumb clears the scales perfectly and lands there when you do a front flip. So the front flipper on this, it makes your thumb just go around and kind of land right there. Especially if you do it from down further, your thumb just lands perfectly in that little cutout. And so it makes the front flipper work so much better. Like your thumb just lands there. And it's so nice. So I think I will incorporate this corner being cut out, but not a flipper tab, of course. So that was something I took from this knife last night. Let's see. Oh, and one more thing. A few more things, but one more thing. Knife that I carried last night related. So I carried this also. And when I got to looking at this new Gambit series Laconico, I noticed something I didn't like. And it sucks. So, brand new knife. Haven't even done the review of it yet. I'm going to do the unboxing today. Just got it yesterday. But the lockup on this thing is like 50%, if not more. It might even be like 60%. It's at least 50%. And it's way more lockup than I would like straight from the factory. When you've waited on this knife for a long time, it's got real deep lockup. And the only problem with deep lockup is it gets stuck sometimes and you have to push it way over. Luckily, this one doesn't ever feel like it's stuck. But it's still too much lockup to have right out the gate. 50%, 60%, not cool. So I had to get that out there. Pisses me off because of how long I waited for this and how I was a backer, Kickstarter, blah, blah, blah. And then I get one with deep lockup. But at least it locks up. I'm forever the optimist. Yeah, I wanted to mention that. And then one more thing I wanted to mention is when I got done with the video yesterday, I went and it took me about less than 5 minutes to knock all these T-nuts out of that board and recut it. And I decided that since that little thing is so easy to set up, I could bang one out in 5 or 6 minutes. I'm just going to screw the knife straight to the table through the holes that I make. I mean, until I make some other knife that I'm not going to be making enough knives for it to matter. So it works so much better when I just put screws through the holes in the fixed blade to hold it in place. And then in about 20 minutes, I got that grind, and I went a little past where the plunge cut is, but really that's just like one pass. And it's kind of right there on the surface, so I can polish that out. But I did go past the line a couple little times. But that took about 20 minutes. And I think I'm at a good angle to keep going up to about right here without moving. It's wearing down this edge, but it's getting all this thickness too. And it's not moving towards the middle anymore. So I'm going to work on it some more. I actually went out there before the broadcast and put in another 5 minutes real quick. But just screwing it down to the board. But I was able to recut those off and take those T-nuts out. And it worked great. Morning, Knife Nut. So yeah, since I'm only going to make 5 or 6 fixed blades anytime soon, I thought it's not going to hurt anything just to screw through those holes. I can put new ones wherever I need to. All right. Morning, Waylon. Let me see here. So yeah, we're going to go over the drop point. And I've got some links of some knives for us to check out. I've also been thinking a lot about what makes knives. I don't know. I've just been thinking about the differences between people and what makes some people like certain knives and what makes some people not. And we always get stuck in what we like, and it's hard to see from other people's views. But being a person who talks about knives to lots of different people, I've tried to pick up on some different views and try to put myself in their position. And it's made me think a lot about knives and why we like them and why we don't, and how some people like certain things and others don't. But it's really been, I mean, I've always said that, and that's why this hobby's so great. But these last few days, it's really been sinking in that. Because, you'll see a guy that's just all about his OTF knives. And he has 50 or 60 OTFs, and that's his thing. And then there's people like me who haven't really ever found an OTF I would consider worth carrying as a pocket knife. As a defensive weapon, yeah, I like them. But they seem novelty to me. But that's just my opinion, and it's not the truth. And there's lots of other people who feel totally opposite of that. Why would you waste the time having to flip open a knife when you can just hit a button? Like, I get it. But the last few days, I've just really been thinking about it because I've been thinking about making knife designs, and I want to make something that appeals to a broad section of the hobbyists. But even just these two artisan cutleries are so different in all kinds of aspects, but yet there's people that love both of them. So I don't know. It's just been something that hit me kind of the last few days. But I kind of almost want to do some more research on like why people like what they like, and I guess finding out what everybody's favorite knives are. Like if I sent out a little questionnaire or Google, if I sent y'all a link to a Google Doc where we could vote on stuff, or you could tell me your top 10 knives just so I could collect some research and why you like them. I might try to set that up and try to get some info from y'all. I just think it'd be cool to see what people said about why they like what they like. Because it might give me a reason to like it that I've never even thought of. Alright, drop point. Actually, I'm going to start with a few knives that I ran across. But we will get the drop point brought up at least. Let's see here. So, that company, this company on AliExpress is really slinging out some knives recently. And this is one that I like, and I don't know why I like it. And I can't figure out if I actually do like it. I mean, I know I like it, but there's things about it that I don't know if I could handle. Like the fact that these pivots stick way out. But yet they're sitting down in a little channel but you can see they actually do stick out. But this knife is 8.5 inches long. It's got the clean lines that I like. It's a bigger knife. But I don't know if I can deal with those pivots. I don't even mind the accent colors. But I don't know. I just can't figure it out. They threw me for a loop with this one. There were some better pictures. Oh, I know where they are. Down here. Yeah, so you can see it's a big knife, but these pivots, I don't know. I don't know if that would affect the way it feels like. Because you can see here in a second, right here, you can see on this picture how far they do stick out. And so that kind of drives me nuts. But yet I like everything else about it. I like the clip. I like the backspacer. But these little inset, the pivot, I don't know. I kind of like how they're locked in that little cutout. But I don't know. It's weird. But I almost want to try it. But this is from that QK brand, and they're really pumping out some knives. In fact, here's the next one we'll look at. And this one is, let me scroll down and look at those good pictures. Alright, the one I like is this one. And it's 8 inches long. And I like a lot about it. And it's a Rye design, an M390. And this is the QK004. So it's a whole new line. So I might have to move over here and get all these QK knives to complete the set of those. But I really like that one. But it's kind of pricey, so I'm hoping it hits eBay. But I like my Rye Design knives, and I like the profile. I like that one, the way it looks closed. I like the compound grind on the blade. I like the looks of it open. Yeah, I like the heart. I like that blade a lot. So I might try that one out. But that's that QK brand again. Then here is another one. This is a different, let's see. I'm not sure why I added this one. Maybe because of the milling, and I just want to see what y'all thought of it. Kind of a weird, I don't like the flipper tab on it, but I do like the blade shape. I like the little fishbone pattern, like, for the frame lock. That's pretty cool. And I like the clip. I like the clip on this one. I like the whole lines on that one pretty much. I'm not a huge fan of Damascus, but that one's not awful. All right, then we have another crazy one. I'm just going to play the video of this one because, well, that's not actually. I like how it's two pieces. And it's got some real clean lines. But that QK company, oh, that's another one of the Rye Design ones. That's a 003. And that one's wild too. But I like the split clamshell. No backspacer. There's a couple of those first ones that they came out with that are probably the Rye Designs that have too much color. There's a gold one that we looked at. That one's cool too. I even like the patterning on it. That top one with the squares and the hieroglyphic looking things, that's pretty tight. Yeah. I like that. So that was another one I wanted to check out. But the one with the man and woman on it, it's a little too much for me. Then I had this one, which is another QK original. And if I could get past the wavy texture on the handles, I would feel better about it. But I'm wondering how your fingers hit those little grooves. But I love that blade shape. I mean, they're coming out with some fire blade shapes. But they're dropping pretty hard. So it's one of these other OEM companies has started a new line to try to get some fresh faces on some different brand of knives. And it's probably somebody like Tucson or something like that, like Six Leaf. Wouldn't put it past them. Same guys started a new little brand to get some name. I mean, it's not a new brand, but pushed one of their older brands that, you know, they didn't really push or whatever. They've all got multiple things going on. But I don't know about those wavy handles. Can't figure out how. That's one of those times where you just need to really see it. And then here's another one from the QK people that I really like. It almost looks like a Ramette. And they have two different milling patterns. And I kind of like both of them too. That one's got a compound grind. Nice front flipper on it. I like the milling patterns. I think I'm a bigger fan of Type A. The cheese grater on B. And once again, they're doing these with the two-piece construction. And that takes, you know, more material and more milling. And that just add a backspacer because you have to make both of these pieces curved instead of flat. So that adds a little more to it. So I appreciate that. I like the clips. The clips remind me of a couple of different knives combined. One is a Shiro, and the other is that Anthem, kind of like a combo. But I like this diamond pattern or whatever it is a little bit more. I don't know which one I like. It's another case where I want to see both of them. I like this. I wish this was a different, brighter color. I don't like those oranges. But I do like those knives. And I guess they're real M390 at that price. I'm sure they are. Somebody needs to test them. I like that blade grind too. I'm not sure what's going on right there. Oh, it's got a fuller. So they had to Photoshop out the fuller, and you can see it up here too. That means that you could reverse flick off the fuller, and it looks like it's got a nice one too. It probably goes all the way down. So yeah, they have to take out the fullers. That's what they did. They missed a spot. They all need to do that to just give you a little hint of what's actually there. It's actually kind of smart. Alright. Oh, good morning. Keep it scale, stupid. And Mr. John. Oh, John, you were already here, maybe. I don't know. Robin. Morning, sir. They can't show those pictures because they're illegal in China. Blood grooves are illegal in China, so are lock mechanisms. They can't sell lock mechanisms on AliExpress. So anytime they show you a video, they cover the locks with their thumb. Like if we watch this, watch when he rolls it over, he'll cover the lock mechanism with his thumb. See how he covered the frame lock right there? They can't show the lock mechanism or the fuller. And in the videos, they can get away with stuff that they can't get away with in the pictures. But he's covering the fuller right there with his fingers, but you can see it. And he's covering the lock when he flips it over. And then he messes up at the end and he shows himself closing it using the frame lock right here. Or no, that's where he opened it. And look, he's keeping the fuller out of the top of the picture up there so you can't see it. I mean, you can still see it, but then right here, he messes up and closes it on somewhere. Maybe, oh, it's not this one. But one of these knives, you can see him close it. It's one of these other ones. I think it's that one that I liked, the first one here. Let's see. I wanted to see him open it. I think it was this one. Let's see. Might not have been. See, he's even covering that one's got nested liner locks. So he was even covering the nested liner lock when he turned it over. See how his thumb is right there where you can't see the... Like, they do a pretty good job of covering what they're supposed to. But yeah, it's just because they'll get taken off of AliExpress if they don't do that stuff. That's the main reason. Yeah, all you got to do is message them and they'll give you real photos. So that's what I've told people. If you want to see the real thing, and they'll show you the ones that have the branding too. Like sometimes they don't show, like Spyderco's, they don't show the round hole. But all you have to do is click on the store right here, and then hit contact now and go to the chat, and just ask them for some real pictures. So I sent a message earlier asking what kind of blade steel this was, because I know this $75 one is not M390, and I doubt the $140 one is too. So I asked him if it was 14C 28N, and I don't know if he's answered me yet. Let me go see. But they're pretty honest about when you ask them questions too. Let me see if this guy responded. Nope, doesn't look like it. Oh, yeah, he did. So let me show you what he said here. Well, yeah, so I messaged him earlier, and this is what he said. Hold on. Whoops. So right here, I said, what is the real blade steel on this knife? 14C 28N? Then he said, genuine VG10. So it's VG10, not M390. But they're honest about it when you go and ask them in private. So it's not M390 as it says up there at the top, but it is VG10. And I'm sure it's properly heat treated. Now, they've got their heat treating down pretty good. Anyway, just message them and ask them, and they'll give you the truth. All right. Let's get to the drop point now. See what's new this week. Bladeology podcast. Gavin Hawk. Let's start with the folding knives this week. Daily Custom and Urban EDC Recruit Sack. I like it. I like the texture. I like the back of it too. Man, that's a cool pattern. Nice. That's pretty dang clean. Victorinox. Even says it on the blade. That's pretty cool. Whoops. We go look at the other versions. They're sold out of the one with the colored cross. There's that miso again. Miso like knives. $225. Kind of blade steel again. Hello? I mean, I don't expect them to tell you, but I thought they might. Huh. 440. Made in Germany. Auxiliary manufacturing. Pocket buoy. Deadhead. Wow. That's a pokey knife. That would definitely make me want to stab something. That's a pretty clean looking knife though. We'll have to say. But yes, it makes me want to poke stuff. And the handle might be a little too long for the blade. And it's a little top heavy. Tommy, because they think that'll sell more knives. Yeah, it is real boxy too. It looks like a. Sorry, I was reading the chat, so I was sorry that picture was stuck on the screen there forever. Uh, $300. Looks pretty wild. Yeah, it looks like a salt shaker. All right, I don't like it. I mean, it's cool though. It's different. But Baceros are back. Milled. Dang it. I think we saw a different model. Yeah, we saw this one last week, I guess. Olamic Halloween editions. We saw those already. Model A Curly Mango. We saw that one. These are kind of getting repetitive. One-Eyed Ghost V2 Windsor. All right then. Made in the USA. One-Eyed Ghost. One-Eyed Ghost EDC. Spokane, Washington, or Pennsylvania. Oh, Pennsylvania and Spokane, Washington. Huh. Let's see. Let's go to the gallery. Aha. So he's done EDC tools and stuff. And pry bars. Oh, and other stuff. But now he's got a menu that doesn't work. And a V2 Windsor. OEG, One-Eyed Ghost. I don't know that I like the billboarding. I definitely don't like the flipper tabs. And it doesn't look like a $700 knife. Looks like a Remet. But sure, there's lots of labor that went into that thing, so if it speaks to you, buy it. Sonoras, Mojaves. He's got another Micro Snow Ghost. Another one this week. Might have seen that one last week. All right, Dervish knives. Now that's a nice looking knife. Looks like a big boy too. If my first design turned out to look like that, I would be super happy with it. It's got a lot of the characteristics I like in a knife. I like the blade grind. Yeah, I like that one a lot. 4 p.m. yesterday. Walker Knives, the Crux. That one's not bad either. If y'all hadn't hit that thumbs up, half serrated day glow, half serrated and half not. I like that color for that knife. Safety blunt or drop point. Oh, I didn't even notice it had a blunt tip on it. Wow. That's pretty crazy. That was the Crux. And then today we get a Scuffle Jack Wolf. at 1 p.m. Central. It's got pretty clean lines too. Overall, I don't like the color, but I do like the lines on it. Dang it, I don't like the fact that I can't find my lighter. That blade is a little too much clipped off for me. I wish it was a little rounder, but I do like it. And I do like the way it looks closed. It follows the lines nicely. I don't think it needs that flipper tab if you can flick off that fuller, which I think you can. That's a pretty cool little knife, the Scuffle. Enzo of Denmark has got various shop drops. Eros, Coco, Orange, Sheep's Foot, and Astra. Yep, we went through and looked at all these one day. But it doesn't hurt to look at them again. He's got some cool little background video stuff going on. I like the micro milling, and we talked about the different color pattern. You can get pretty much any color you want. Toco. The Arn doesn't have a link, which is weird. That's a super cool little utility blade. Oh, that reminds me, seeing this urine colored scales, the new Gen 3 Ultratechs are zero blade play, and here's one of them right here. Vespa's making them, some nice ones, but these are zero blade play. They don't move a bit. Pretty soon, the good combat Trudons are about to be out with the zero blade play. So everybody's got theirs in. This is the model I bought, the black on black with the black DLC. I should get it soon, hopefully. But they're supposed to be great. They've got real blade steel in these M390. That's the version I got too. There's absolutely zero blade play. And that's what he says, if you could hear him. We turn some sound on here. Oh, I can't hear anything. Oh, maybe I can. Maybe I don't have the volume up.
Nothing.
Nothing. He says
No
nothing.
play.
I don't know why
Zero.
I can't hear it.
At all. I'm told.
Anyway, I don't think I mentioned that yesterday. There's that Beefonder knife again. That's a great little inexpensive knife. But like I said, the Combat Trudon, the good ones, and the AliExpress link for those Ultratechs says zero something. It lets you know that it's the zero blade play. It says zero turn or zero rotate. That's it, but oh, here it is. It says 0 point rotation, M390 blade. So they offer all three blade styles in all three colors: black, silver, and piss. but they're $150 for the regular ones, and $165 for the DLC. Yeah, they do. Oh, I guess you asked that before I brought it up. But yeah, Vespa does sell on AliExpress. But these are supposed to be great. And like I said, these Vespa makes some knives that are better than Microtech's. Their M390, like these M390 Combat Trudon 2 or S35VN Combat Trudon 2s are excellent. And they have their own, like some nice ones that are, these are way better than Microtech, in my opinion. That's why they cost so much. But they do have, but it says on the Zero Blade Play version, it's this one, and it says, no, it's not that one. Dang it. It's which one is it? It says something about 0 point. Oh, right here. 0 point rotation. Y'all want to check those out. I'm hoping when I get one, they are. I've had, Michael, if you're talking about them being better than Microtech, there are lots of people that have both that will tell you that these work better. And the fit and finish is better. In fact, some of the Vespas have less blade play on the regular ones than the Microtechs do. And smoother action. But I'm hoping this Zero Blade Play one makes me think that I might could carry a OTF for the first time in my life. Because that's always been my problem, is the wiggle. Yeah, the wiggle sucks. But anyway, they're out. All right, back to Anzo, Sheep's Foot, and one more, the Astra. I don't know if y'all saw the link, but Arcform, I put it in the links channel, had their little alt cut on sale, and they sold out, but they were normally $105, and they sold them for $45. You can't see what I'm talking about, but it's the little alt cut. Their little fixed blade with the scalpel looking blade. I mean, it's not really like a scalpel looking blade, but it's that little thing on the screen there. This made me think of it. That's lets you change. You can really customize those little things, huh? That's a cool little set. I like Anzo's stuff. Transient 3.2 V3. $1,200. Square body skeleton. Thank you, Christopher, for the backing up about the Vespa stuff. I'm not a fan. I don't know. Whenever I lose, whenever I stop liking the owner of a company, it makes me biased towards all their knives. So when I realized I wouldn't get along with Marfione or like him in a room talking to him, just from what I picked up, I don't think I would. Then I kind of lost respect for all their knives. So I'm not a huge Microtech fan. Same with Medford. Medford's kind of the same way. I don't, even though I'm sure some of his knives are great. Same with, sure, some of the new Microtechs are probably pretty good. I'm biased because of the owners. And I get it. Sometimes they don't even run the day-to-day stuff, and lots of people working for that company that need to be supported, I guess. So I don't need to take such a hard stand on when I don't like the owner. All right, Arcane. Again, got some more coming out today. What's going on with my internet? Come on, load up. There we go. Wow, that Damasteel sure is purty. Friday, an hour after our broadcast ends this morning. Yeah, so an hour after I quit. Additional Abyss V2 parts. That's pretty cool. $11. Pivot set. Oh, pivot set and lock bar insert for $11. I guarantee that's what it is. Not a bad price. Or it could just be a pivot collar. Oh, look, it is pivot collar. I didn't even read that yet, but I was looking at the picture. So pivot collars for $11. All right then. I like when sites have that on their website. I don't remember if I ever looked to see how long ago it was that a automaton sold on Reddit. I spelled it right, didn't I? Automaton. Nope, I don't think I did. Yeah. Automaton. 1 month ago, one sold for $350. And it's not the red one, so that's pretty cool. It's the carbon fiber one. All right, let's see what. This is the same one. No, this one is five. Wait, it is the same one. $300 what it sold for finally. Purple haze, back carbon. All right, dark mode, $275. I just don't like the dark mode either. I wish I did, because I could get a lot more knives. Let's see, 3 months ago. Purple fat carbon, probably the same one. 8 months ago. Picture's gone, but it was a purple. It's the same purple haze carbon fiber one. And I don't know why that one came up. All right, back to where we were. Today, the Abyss and the Damasteel Abyss All right, Demco Nano Shark. Waylon, that one looks like it has enough access to that lock, but maybe yours didn't have the same kind of curve. Oh, yours was like a shark cub or something. Mister, that's not a real fair comparison because you're not buying stuff from them either. You're not buying a stealth. I mean, I guess if you consider your tax money pays for it, maybe you are, but I think the leaders of companies where they retail companies matter somewhat, especially if they're personalized like that. If they're not personalized like that, if it's like Walmart, that's a totally different story. I don't agree with the Waltons, but I think knife companies have a lot lot more interaction face to face with their people. So they are kind of the face of the company. Yeah, there's that same one that we love. I wish it wasn't over my price point. I love that knife. Yeah, the face of a company, especially when it's named after you, like Medford. Like, if you don't like Medford personally, you probably don't want to spend a bunch of money in his pocket. Just my opinion. Yeah, I don't care. I don't need. I don't need the guy that makes the stealth bomber to be cool either. He could be a total asshole. He still made a cool plane. What is the Zero? It's got the Spidey hole, huh? That's kind of odd. You don't see many knives with the Spidey hole. Cool little knife though. I like the I like that side way better. Wish both sides, can you get one like that? Or they all rock to like nope, you can. Dang, that one looks like that's a whole different knife. It really is a whole different knife. I mean, that's kind of crazy how different those two look. They even look like they're shaped different a little bit. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, there's lots of people who would look at that left one and say, "Man, that looks way better than that one on the right." And that's just not me, but it's amazing to me how varied this hobby can be. I'm definitely a fan of the right one. In fact, I'm gonna add a poll real quick. Uh, and y'all got to answer before I'm moving on. What's your favorite? Left, right. All right. There's a quick poll. See what y'all think. Left or right? You get the picture. Uh, well, I don't know that I can get the picture. Oh, wow, what happened? Went the wrong way. Left or right? Whoa, where'd we go? Hang it. Quit moving on me. Well, we hadn't had too many votes. Morning, Nick. How many votes we had? 7 votes. Come on, we can get more than 7. While y'all are hitting stuff, hit that thumbs up. No, you ain't got to. Those Ranger made knives are slick. Man, it's like a I don't know. For some reason, it reminds me of Machine Wise. Nick, didn't they have the same blade grinds? Didn't those 2 knives have the same blade grinds? Where are they? Oh. I thought they had the same. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, they don't. Golly. Yeah, I do like the blade grind on the left. That's the time where you gotta swap. You gotta buy both and do a blade swap. Yeah, I don't know, that solid flat grind might slice through better because that one looks a lot thicker. I might like the blade on the right better after use. I'm gonna stick with the right all the way around, blade and handles. All right, thank y'all for that poll. 78% went with the right. All right. Yeah, I don't know why that knife makes me think of Machine Wise, but it's got some characteristics. That's a good looking knife. Closed, open, whatever you want to say. I like the milling. I'm glad we ran across that one. I have a feeling I will have one of those at some point. Because $475 is a good price, and it'll come down to below my $400. Pomegranate textured scales. Huh. What is whoops. like a random pattern of circles. Yeah, it does look like a skiff kind of, you're right. It's a sharp knife, whatever it is. The Crow, that's a new one from him, I think. Where's the Crow? Why are all his knives not showing? He usually has a bunch more knives than that. Aha, there we go. What does the Crow look like? Oh, duh. Wow. That's pretty wild. That's too much hole. Too much hole. Huh. We'll leave that one alone. All right, we've seen that one. Reaper Gen 2 pre-order. Well, that one's got a It's a cool looking knife. Wish we had a real picture of it instead of a rendering. All right, there we go. 2 different versions. Once again, that's a little too much going on for the handles, for my liking. Looks like hugs and kisses. Gap. Yep, that is a gap. That is not a blade hole. That is a gap. You are completely correct there, sir. That one's almost got more air than it does blade. But I love his milling. I mean, he puts in tons of work. His milling work is superb. I even like how that steps down and lines up. Like, that's pretty cool. The plunge grind. How it meets up and it's like thicker. Like, I don't know, because it has to be. I don't know, that's weird. Alright. I like the knife, but I wish they had just a plain... Oh, I was going to say, I wish they had a plain handle. And there we go. Plain handle. Alright. Well, I like it again now. Got that clip like... Got a clip like the Asgard, but smaller. I kind of wish the Asgard's was smaller. Yeah. It's an expensive knife, though. Alright. Darkwave Truffles we've already seen. The Atos. Gen 2, the Titan, the Arrows, the Primordial. Alright, let's go back up to fixed blades. Cicadas, Bald Man, 180 bucks. I don't see the cicada. Oh, there it is. 180 bucks. Findagog, good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. Broken Anvil Shark Tooth for 180. Red Carbon Shark Tooth. Oh, that's a pretty cool little... I like the looks of that little neck knife. It's like... It's really trying to be a knife, isn't it? Like, it's trying its best. That little thing is doing all it can to be a real knife. Like, it's like the Pinocchio of knives. When he grows up, he just wants to be a real boy. That guy is really close to being a real knife. Now, it is a real knife. I'm just messing around, but I do like it. Yep, I like it. Oh, good morning, Ron Crow. I don't think I saw you pop in. Yeah. All right. No telling what blade steel, just whatever he decided to use that day, I guess, which is fine. All right. Norse Forge, the custom necker, another little knife. Yeah, that one's got a little too much. I don't know, I like it. It's utilitarian looking. We got Norse photography also. So Norse Forge and Norse photography. All right, Bradford 3.5 XL. Uh-oh, special release. Saber grind. They all are $229. Yeah. Something about it looks different. What's going on? Why does it look so much different than the 3 or the 3.5? Okay, I guess it doesn't. That's the ultralight. I like the sheep's foot. Yeah, that's a good looking knife. Why did that other one look so much different? Maybe it's because of the blade. I guess you can get a sheep's foot version. Yeah, that's a lot of knife probably. What else you can get? Oh, you can get anything you want. Black oxide. Alright. I like the fastener's black. It's looking better. You can only get stone wash. Yeah, I like it better with those scales. Well, those first scales they had on there did not like. I like their micarta. Alright, tactile, CC Red Hawk. That is definitely red. Red and black. Looks like it'd be super comfortable knife though. Tan blade with black micarta. Huh. Well, that's a good picture of it. Yeah, half-face blades. Drummer, we talked about them a couple times last week. I said they didn't get their recognition like they should. Let's see, Caudill Customs Responder. That's a lot of work went into that knife for $250. Yeah, fit and finish of that looks nice. From where I'm standing, there's only one left in stock. American Rustic Design. That was Caudill Custom. Let's see, collections. Handcrafted knives. Lieutenant Dan, number 2. Why did he make it so short? What in the world? Why, how you gonna call that Lieutenant Dan? That just ain't right. Oh, there's Lieutenant Dan. That was the number 2. How you gonna make a little tiny... No, I like it. But how you gonna make a little tiny knife and call it Lieutenant Dan? What else you got? The clipper, the mini cleaver, responder, which is in the responder 3. This is number 2, and this is number 1. Let's look at the original responder. Yeah, that's a clean looking knife. Paired with the paracord. That lanyard hole looks about the same as on mine. TKL with the FLN 2.0. That was a mean looking knife. Another one of those that you can't use unless you're about to hurt somebody. I mean, you could use it, but that's more of a weapon than a daily EDC knife. Doesn't make it any less cool, because it's super cool. like it. I like it. FLN 2.0. Night Watch Knives, the McTavish. Tavish Nitro V. 6.75. Nice bird and trout knife. Alright, Night Wash. I got the Ash Ball also. I like that one a little better. As far as be a good skinning knife. You could skin stuff pretty good with that thing. It looks comfortable too. Around the $300 price point, not bad. That one's 8.35 inches overall, so yeah, that's a big boy. 3.75 inch blade. I like the Ashfall better than the McTavish. The Joe Ledger's Mule looks like a big steak knife. All right. Broken Anvil Crusade Dagger. Saw that one somehow. Blackbird Blade Stag Handled Damascus. Why does it say 420? Oh, guess that's the blade steel. No. Message if interested, 420. What, has he also got 420? Weird. Alright then. I like Blackbird blades though. His table was cool at Blade Show. Bench knife Jackrabbit. Yeah. I don't like how far that sticks out, but it's got to stick. It doesn't have to stick out, but I like the little bunny on it, the little jackrabbit. Yeah, that's a pocket knife. That is a pocket knife. I mean, it's a 1980s pocket knife, but it is a pocket knife. It is a, man, could you imagine in the 80s being able to buy a knife that cool with that cool little rabbit on it and that nice a handle, fit and finish, and yeah, that would have been the bomb. 1985, boy, I would have killed for that thing. That would have been the prettiest knife on the market. It's still a pretty knife. Don't get me wrong. See you later, Ron Crow. Oh, I know what 420 is, but I just wondered why he put it in there. Started from High Times Magazine. I was 420 on 420 at 420. I was 420 at 420 on 420. All right, Berg Blades, Mini Sweeney. We've seen that. Yesterday, Montana dropped another one. That's that website that just gets to me, but that's a heck of a skinner. Today, we get the Nuck. Nesmuck. I like that a lot. Got that Nesmuck style blade. That's clean. Larger Nucks. Hitting the website this Friday. How much are those? It doesn't say. Dang it. The Bruin. Big steak knife again. RMJ Tactical. The Bub 195. Oh, Bub for $195. Blade's pretty clean. Another definite weapon. Auxiliary Manufacturing, Carl Jr. Is that what he said? That must be it. Yeah. Probably a comfortable little utility blade too. Jeff Davidson Custom Creations. All right then. I see you doing your thing there, Jeff. Deep in the heart of Texas. All right. TCal. Book spots. And I guess that's about it for this week as far as new stuff. All right. Oh, let's go check out, since I've talked about it, and Mr. Drummer is our special guest of the day, since he hasn't been here in forever. We will look at those half-faced blades. As you can see, we've already had it typed in, and the link is purple, which means we've been there. Go to new drops. Yeah, I said they didn't get near the recognition they needed to because they're reasonably priced. They got some super cool knives. That's a pretty knife. Oh, did it have a dollar sign next to it? I didn't even pay attention to the dollar sign. I probably just thought it was, I don't know, the 420 stuck out. I was 420 on 420 at 420. I wish they had so they used to have the top 100 on the back of the magazine, and people used to write in all their little quotes, you know. I forgot, it's the, what was it called? It had a name. High Times back page top 100. Was it the top? It was the top 100. And they were all written in little balloons, like, anyway, if you know, you know. But one of those used to, for a while I was 420 on 420 at 420. Yeah, that's a clean knife. Their fit and finish is excellent. I like it. I even like some of his little two-tone. I mean, that's just nice wood. Nice material. Nice connection. Yeah, super clean knives. Limited. All right. Where are we? Oh man. I'll tell you what though. That little corner being cut out really helps the front flipper on a knife. And this one has the absolute perfect action. It is just that hydraulic drop that's just perfect. You just barely nudge it and it goes. And you can sometimes keep it from going all the way down. It'll stop like just barely there at the very bottom, but this thing is tuned perfectly from the factory. Love this knife. So, Mister, the story is, or the legend is, they did a test to see what time of day either were more people smoking at the same exact time or had the ability to smoke at the exact same time. And 4:20 is what came up. So 4:20 in the afternoon is the time when more people are off work or have the time or are, and of course that changes according to time zone, blah blah blah. But on average, when asked, that was the time, supposedly. Robin, yeah, have you not seen my YouTube page? Do you not pay? A lot of people don't see my posts, I guess. But yes, sir, I have. If you go to my YouTube page and go to the post tab, the top post will have it disassembled. And that picture actually is a big picture, but you know, YouTube cuts them off. But I asked about the soul shard. Let me send that picture over to, if I can find my phone. I always lose my phone during the broadcast because I lay it in my lap and it falls off to one side or the other. But here, I'll send the full size picture over to the Discord. Share. Stuff for channel. Send. Discord. Where are we at? Discord. Stuff for channel. Picture. There you go. Yeah, I couldn't understand why it was so grimy up here, though. Because I hadn't done anything with it at this point. Like, I literally had not cut a single thing, had not had it anywhere. And it wasn't nearly as clean on the inside as I feel like it should have been. It just has all these little, like, marks. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And I guess some of that could be oil catching stuff. You know, like, I mean, that's what most of it is oil catching whatever kind of dirt is in the air even. But yeah, there's the inside of it. Yeah, that's the Evo. All right. Real Milshman. Milfman? Milshman. Welcome, sir. John, you hadn't seen the Soul Shard yet? That's pretty funny. Yeah, there's my lanyard hole. That's what she said. Yeah, I can't wait to get done with the broadcast so I can get out there and start sanding some more on the blade, or grinding some more on the blade, or filing some more on the blade, like I should have actually said. This is still a great knife. I don't care what you say. Yeah, John, I don't know what's going on with that. I didn't do that. I definitely did not get it dirty like that, because I was like, right after the first day, this wear, man, this wear is growing on me. It's wearing on me. You know, another knife that I need to think about paying attention to more is that, you know, that knife I bought that I haven't paid attention to. Now I can't think of the name. The Neutron Star, but I can't think. There's two companies. It's got two names. Good Screw. Sorry, but it's not really Good Screw. It's some other company. But that Neutron Star, I need to pay attention to it, because it's a cool knife too. And it's been neglected. It is actually in my good case. And I grabbed it yesterday, and I was like, I need to pay attention to you more, because you've got a pretty blade. And of course, I'm still loving this one. And I hate fingerprints on blades. And little tape residue. And I took a picture of my Evo last night. And but yeah, that's a cool blade shape. I need to give this thing a little more love. It's got great action. And it goes good with this, which goes good with the Asgard, which goes good with the Yan, which goes good with those two big boys. Gonzo, good morning, sir. What else are we going to talk about today? Oh, good morning, Fred. Didn't even see you there. Hope you're doing well this morning, sir. This Doc Fisher, man, that's some serious D10 on it, boy. Serious D10. Yeah, that other knife we looked at earlier that was $800 or something, $850. It looked like a little. It looked like a Ramet. I don't like this one. I think it had G10 too, but it wasn't natural. A great little knife. Nothing wrong with that knife at all. Sever7, good morning, sir. FerraMonster has some new knives. Yay. Let me see. There was something else I made a note about somewhere. Well, thought I did. Oh, I know something else we can do really quick. Show a couple pics that the boys posted this morning in the Discord. So Mr. Ed posted that one this morning. Mr. Lou sure has some nice collections of knives. There's a few of his OTFs. Let's see. Yeah, those are super cool. I posted size comparisons to that Gambit, and I also posted 4 good pictures of it. Ed posted this last night. Little chonker, so he said. And let's see. Then this morning, super cool little knife you got there. Looks like you cut yourself. Be careful, sir. If you don't have a band-aid on every now and then, you're not really part of the knife hobby. That looks like a worker for sure. Yeah, I like it. All right. Somebody else just posted something, I believe. General, let's see. Bunk collector at work. Oh, wow. So you got that job working at that knife place, huh? That's awesome. Look at you, boy. That's fun to play with, huh? That's pretty dang awesome. Yeah, I don't know, man. Those pivots are giant. I think they would drive me nuts, like Mister said, or somebody said. Man, I wish they wouldn't have done that because I like it. Other than that, but I like to find out they're doing a YG series or a QK series with Rye. That's the QK004, so I might start with it. I wish their pivots weren't gold. I'm gonna have to change that. I don't like that QK logo either. Wish that logo was gone and that gold was gone. Rah. They're the same ones that had that gold knife that would have looked great if it wasn't so gold. Had a little chonker, then you divorced her. Divorce. Whoa. Be careful, Christopher. Yeah, one of somebody in the Discord last night was going to try to buy a cyber tricks on eBay, and it ended up jumping from 200 to 250 to 255 in a matter of the last minute. So I was sitting there watching it on eBay, and it was at 195, and then it with a minute left, I was sitting there watching it, and it jumped from 200 to 250 and then to 255. It was at 172.50. Yeah, you can see the bids here. Well, not unless you sign in, but anyway, you can go look at the bids. It jumped in the last minute, like in the last couple of minutes, or last 3 minutes, it jumped from like 172 to 255. And y'all can't see that regardless. Blah, blah, blah. And it was the Model A blade. I want the Model B or C blade. The A is my least favorite. They've got all 3 of the blade shapes on their website. It reminded me because it's on his website. He just gave an address to. But I like the B and C better, and I'd say my favorite is B. Yeah, my favorite is B. I want to try to find a B version. Sever, hook that up. John, no, sir. I did not, and I am a bad person. So I messaged the guy that had one for sale that you linked, and I got him to drop his price down to $70. Actually, no, what I did is I got him to change it to where it says make an offer. And he told me that if I offered him $70, he would take it. But then I thought about the $7 tax and the $7 shipping. And that brings it back up to $84. And I just didn't want to pay $84 for it. So I could, right now, I could get it for $84. And I appreciate you linking it for me. And if I don't buy this one, I'm stupid, I guess, or I don't really want it. Because he will take $70 right now. If one of y'all wants one, and your tax isn't as high as mine is 10%. So that automatically adds another $7 on the 70. Then you got to pay for shipping. I get spoiled by White Mountain Knives and their free shipping. But even on there, I think I think you can get it for $72. Maybe I'm wrong. Thought it was like 80. No, it's 100. So you could get it. It'd be $90 even if they had them in stock. So I probably ought to take it for 84. So I might get it today, right now, John. I do like it. And I think I like it enough to buy it. But if somebody beats me to it, oh well. I'll find one. I just feel like a used $90 new Tucson should be less than $84. And I get it. It could be brand new. Might not even be used. But no. To answer your question, I did not buy it yet. But it does say make an offer now, where it used to not say that. He said, I'm going to set it to make offer. And he said, send me an offer for 70 and I'll take it. And that's the first time I've ever messaged somebody to ask them if they take a price and then not bought the knife. So I feel kind of wrong about it, but it's not like he changed the price. He just said it, make an offer. All right. Guess we're going to start winding this Friday down. My voice is shot. Another pretty one. I've gotten a bunch of knives here recently that I need to pay attention to more. Like my Asgard is in the bag already, and that should definitely not be in the bag. The Asgard is an awesome knife. It should be getting pocket time. But I've got it in my integral bag over here, which is now buried. I don't even see it. Where is it? There it is. It was under like 4 other bags. So the Asgard has officially entered the pile of knives over here. And that is no good. So I am going to pull it out, get it on the desk, where it might go back in the pocket. Yeah, John, we looked at those Ranger Maids if you were gone a little while ago. I want one too. I will own one. Sever 7? No, I'm not going to promote them on my channel, Sever. I apologize. But I'm not going to give them any new screen time. They kind of did me wrong, so I'm not going to talk bad about them, but I don't want to promote them either. Maybe I'll get over that eventually one day. Hopefully I will. And you know, normally I would do anything you ask, but you get the Asgard over here in the middle. It goes along nicely with that wear, and that yan, and that good screw, and that Karis. Tommy, I don't want to. I mean, I'm sure they can look up FerraMonster's website, but sure, Sever. I don't care if you put their Instagram, I guess. I mean, I'd rather you not, but it is what it is. I'm sure they can find them. Tommy, I don't want us to gossip and say what they did. If you want to ask me about it on Discord sometime, I'll tell you. Yeah, I was going to want to wind this one down anyway. My voice is getting kind of scruffy. So I appreciate y'all. And hope y'all have a wonderful Friday. I don't think I have any new knives coming in today, but Monday I do. Let's see. Anything else we need to talk about? Oh yeah, I guess we're about to go to war with Russia. I don't know if y'all saw that this morning or yesterday. Trump announced that we are in an armed conflict now. And then Putin responded saying that bunch of crap. So I don't really look at that stuff much, because it's what's going to happen is going to happen regardless, and they never know from one day to the next. But there is some craziness going on with that last couple of days. So y'all send good vibes out to our world's leaders, that they make good and responsible decisions. Where people don't die. That's about all I care about. But anyway, guys, hope y'all have a great Friday.